And good Tuesday evening time. Take a look here at your weather webcast. Cedric Haynes with you, and we're going to be talking about what's ahead this week, which is going to be some colder air. But before we get to that, we're going to be looking at a dry night tonight. But you're going to notice the clouds on the increase, and especially as we go throughout the day on Wednesday, wouldn't be impossible to see a sprinkle, maybe a sleet pellet or a snow flurry during the middle of the afternoon tomorrow if we get some moisture moving in. But most of that activity should hold off until tomorrow night, and especially heading into your Thursday. Now that rain Wednesday night into Thursday could have a little bit of sleet mixed into it, but it won't be a big deal. But something to watch out for. Then we will await some of the coldest air of the season. In fact, the coldest air of the season so far, which isn't that long into the winter season yet, but some of the coldest air we've experienced so far recently. And as we head towards the weekend and heading into New Year's week as the new year begins around the area. So get ready for some big changes heading with the temperatures there. Now, on the radar picture, we stayed dry for most of the day, but you can already see some moisture starting to increase back to the west. Oklahoma and Texas right now beginning to already see some moisture moving in with the system. In fact, places like Oklahoma City and Tulsa and also out into the Dallas-Fort Worth area all have been receiving snowfall from the system here. But notice how that activity is lifting off towards the north and east here. And we're going to be looking at the trailing into this here, which has not got a lot of moisture with it, but it's going to be heading off towards the east-northeast here. But basically, we do have a high pressure, and this high pressure is going to slowly move on off towards the east. And as it does so, it's going to wedge down some of that cool but also very dry air in place. So the moisture is going to begin to stream on over the area tomorrow, but for the most part, it's not going to hit the ground right away. So we're going to have to wait for the atmosphere to moisten up a little bit before that activity actually makes it to the ground. But then it should do so, and that's by tomorrow night into Thursday. And it should be warm enough for mainly just rain, but we can't rule out again an isolated sleet pellet or two mixing in with the rain coming up for us tomorrow night. All right, temperatures for the overnight lows should drop down to around freezing, 30 in Cohutta, 27 in Lafayette, 32 Calhoun, and 30 degrees over in Chatsworth. And for your Wednesday, we're looking at highs warming up into the mid to upper 40, or low to mid 40s really out there, 45 Cohutta and 47 degrees for the warm spot down in Calhoun. All right, here's your weather map for tonight. High pressure in full control across a good portion of the eastern part of the country. Should keep most of this moisture off to our west. Now, so go throughout tonight and heading into your Wednesday morning, we start noticing this activity, but notice how that main area of winter precip, instead of moving east, is going to be moving off towards the north. And as it does so, that's going to give our temperatures time to warm up throughout the day so that by the time this moisture makes it in here Wednesday night and into Thursday, we're going to be looking at it being warm enough for mainly, again, just a cold rain. But again, can't rule out an isolated sleet pellet or two mixing in as temperatures are going to be dropping down into the 30s again coming up for us tomorrow night. Here you can see some of that warm air trying to lift up. 46 in Atlanta for a high today, 50 degrees in New Orleans for a high today, and 70 degrees basically down in Miami as well. So some of that warm air is going to try to slowly stream in, but we have some very cold air trying to ease in from the north as well. And we're going to be kind of in that middle of that battleground, but we're going to be just warm enough for mainly, again, a cold rain. Now, heading into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, notice how that colder air really fills in quickly. And as we head towards the week, the cold air really just gets deeper across a good portion of the eastern part of the country and heading into the south and east, and some of the coldest air of the season again will be making it into the area. So how cold, you may ask? Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. We're looking at quite a bit of cold air headed this way. Again, first off, some rain, mainly late Wednesday, heading into your Thursday. It should be cold, but it should be warm enough for mainly just rain, maybe a little sleet mix in there. Now, Thursday night into Friday, if we have enough moisture left over as some of that cold air moves in, we could see a few flurries or snow showers coming up early Friday morning. Won't be a big deal, no major accumulations, but just the beginnings of that colder air moving on into the area on Friday, which, of course, is New Year's Day. And then heading into the weekend, look at that. We're going to have plenty of sunshine, but highs struggling, and we're looking at being lucky here to get highs above freezing coming up this weekend, lows well down into the teens coming up. We're looking at an extended period of some very colder air moving into the area. Again, the coldest air so far we've seen this season. So get ready for that. That's a good weather webcast video for your Tuesday evening. Stay with us. We'll have the next one on for you by Wednesday. Have a great evening.